Hey guys, welcome back to Sloan's Garage. Today, I'm going to be replacing a wheel hub on my Saturn. Not nothing too exciting, but I was doing it, so I was like, well, I guess I'll make a video on it. So, I got a Moog from AutoZone, and I'm going to be replacing, I'm pretty sure it's the driver's side one, what it sounds like. So the first thing I did, I already broke it loose, but it's a 30mm socket for the axle nut, and I would recommend doing this before you jack the car up. And then after that, take the tire off, and I'll get to doing that, and then I'll show you some more after. Alright, so now we got the wheel off. I broke loose the axle nut. I'm going to take it out now. Hopefully the impact will do it the rest of the way. Do that in a minute. Anyways, so take the brake caliper off. It has these, can't think of what the fuck they're called, but take those off where the brake rotor can come off. And then there's 3 bolts holding the hub on the back of the knuckle. Come back to when I have that done. So I got the caliper off, have it just resting up here. The bolts holding that on were a 14mm. Now we need to get this bracket out of the way. The bolts holding that are a 15mm. And after that, the rotor will be able to slide off, and then we'll just undo the 3 bolts on the back holding the hub and then swap it out. And while you're doing this would be a good time to look at your axles. Make sure the boots aren't ripped or anything like that, throwing out their grease, whatnot. These are dirty, but they don't look like they're ripped, or I don't see any grease on anything. So I think we're good. So I'll take that apart and I'll come back to changing the hub out. Well, I got the old hub. I don't know if you guys will have to do this, but my hub didn't just slide off the axle. I actually had to use my 2-jaw puller, and then it came right off. But so now time to put the new guy on. Oh yeah, and then the bolts that were holding the hub on were also 15mm. Just to let you all know. Anyways, then it's just reverse what you took apart, put it back together. And yeah. So I got the hub on, the 3 bolts that hold it. I used blue Loctite on. And what I looked up online was, said 84 foot-pounds for these 3 bolts, which seems like a lot, but so that's supposedly the torque spec. I didn't have the appropriate socket and shit to be able to get my torque wrench even in here with it assembled like this, so I just did the 2-wrench method and got it as tight as I could with 2 double-end wrenches done like that. So, and I got the axle nut on with the impact, so it's not final torqued, but supposedly this is supposed to be 74 with 35 more degrees of torque afterwards. So basically you get 74, your torque wrench will click, and then you're supposed to keep pushing about 35 degrees more rotation into it. But alright, I'm gonna start putting this shit back together. Hey, so I got this all there now, and instead of doing the torque spec the way I found, or I think would be like torque to yield type spec, I'm just gonna, instead of doing the 74 foot-pounds and then turn it 35 more degrees, I'm just gonna torque it to 90. And so, well, that's it. Till next time, keep it between the dishes. Actually, before you go, if you watched my last video where I was working on putting the rear end under the Firebird, the 8.8, and doing all the brackets and stuff. I did say at the end of the video I messed up, and I'm pretty sure it was because I didn't mock it up at actual ride height, and so it the panhard bar, you know, doesn't change length, and the rear end had to go higher, and so it pushed the rear end to the left like inch and a half or something, on top of the rear end's just really not the same width that was original in the car. So what I've decided to do for now is I'm gonna basically make it fit the car. I'm gonna buy an axle tube and put 3 additional inches on that side, on the driver's side, and buy a new axle for it, and then it'll be the right width for the car. I'm going to cut off the brackets that I have on it, order new ones, and start over. But that's the update on that, if anybody cared. Alrighty, see you.